Shalom, family. Shalom to everybody in the chat. Shalom. Just going to give it a few minutes for more people to come in. I hope everybody is doing well. May the Most High protect each and every one of you and keep you from all of the wrath and judgment that this world is under. Wow. It just seems like every single day we're not disappointed. It is always something crazy and over the top going on in this world, whether it's here or somewhere else. All right. Okay, everybody. I have a video that I want to show you and something that recently came out in the Daily, New York Post, not the Daily Mail. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of the news down south, and I think over the last 4 or 5 days, Florida has been getting 1,000 new coronavirus cases per day. So, I mean, that is just, what we expected. They wanted to open their state, and that probably will go up even higher. Okay. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get started. Shalom to everybody if you just came in. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen because I definitely want you to see this video. All right, everybody, you know what to do. Give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Give me a 1. Yeah, well, they're saying that it's flatlining in the Northeast, but the medical community and even the scientists have even warned New Jersey, just because the numbers have flatlined don't mean they won't go back up if you reopen the state too soon. So, they're saying it's a good thing, but they also issued a warning. All right, everybody, thank you for the ones. Thank you very, very much. All right, well, let's get this show on the road. Let's do it. Okay, just like everywhere else, ladies and gentlemen, they're protesting up in Toronto. Well, this white man showed up in blackface at an anti-racism protest for George Floyd. So you can see the amount of black people in the crowd because Canada pretty much got the same mix of people as we do here in the United States. I've been to Canada a few times, and unfortunately, you got some idiots that think it's all white up there. It's nowhere near all white up there. Okay, nowhere near it. I've been there a couple of times, and you see pretty much the same racial mixture that you see here in the US. Let me go ahead and play this video. They ended up arresting this guy for coming in blackface, but I just want to show you the video. It's pretty quick. It's only 16 seconds.
I want to put this on my face. I can put it on my face. I'm not trying to fucking hurt you. I'm not trying to respect you. I'm trying to respect you.
Y'all see that? I'm going to play it again.
I want to put this on my face. I can put it on my face. I'm not trying to fucking hurt you. I'm not trying to respect you. I'm trying to
Y'all see that? Now, remember, first, the guy in California in Santee goes into the supermarket with a Klan hood on, and then it was that hillbilly couple with the swastika on their face mask. Okay, so they're just getting crazier by the day. The protest is bringing the true nature of these folks out. I'm going to play it one more time.
I want to put this on my face. I can put it on my face. I'm not trying to fucking hurt you. I'm not trying to respect you. I'm trying to
Should have kicked his ass. But the police did arrest him, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not shocked that we're seeing this. This is who these folks really are. And it just go to show you, there is a large segment of these people that never, ever want us to leave the tail. They want us to be at the bottom forever. If they can figure out a way to keep us there, they would. But we know they will never figure out a way to keep us at the bottom. The more we are waking up, the more of a threat that is. And these racist marches is a rail against white supremacy. And you can best believe they are feeling it, y'all. They are feeling it big time. All right. And the people out in the street said they are not going to stop until policies are written and police can be held accountable. So they are staying in those streets. And yeah, so every day they're out there, it's a black eye on white supremacy. And that's exactly what they don't want. So it is bringing out the real true nature that we knew was always there. So this is the New York Post. Man arrested for wearing blackface to anti-black racism protest in Toronto. A man was arrested in Toronto Saturday after showing up to an anti-racism protest while wearing blackface. The man, whose name was not released by officials, was filmed getting into a shouting match with demonstrators after protest organizers asked him to leave. If I want to put this on my face, then I can put this on my face, the man can be heard saying in the clip before he was placed into custody. You're effing disrespectful, a demonstrator shouts back. You're a shame to all who came here. The man then announced, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Yes, you are. Anytime you put that black face on, you automatically are disrespecting the black community. Okay? Automatically. But it appears clear in the clip that none of the protesters bought that claim. The demonstration was one of several to take place Saturday in response to the police killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis, which has sparked global protests against police brutality and racism. So, ladies and gentlemen, this global protest has put police violence and white supremacy on the world stage. And these folks have lost their mind and don't know what to do. Toronto bike police were filmed hauling him off as he continued to shout at protesters. Police originally told Global News he was arrested for breach of the peace and charged, but later told the outlet no charges had been made. Inquiries continue. So they didn't do nothing to him. They probably just escorted him off of the premises around where they were protesting, and that's it. I mean, we can't expect the same system in place that have done us wrong, even up in Canada. Those black folks have been done wrong, just like we have been done wrong here in the U.S. And look, the same system is in place. You can't expect them to do much of nothing on our behalf. They absolutely don't want to do that. You know, but look at the levels of what these people are going through. You know, they are going to so drastic of a measure, but nobody should be shocked. They're trying to keep this lopsided system in place. They don't want it to go away. And they are in fear because of the people in the street. Why do you think Trump is reacting the way that he is? You don't see him saying, you know what? We do need to do something about police violence towards the black community and racism. You see Trump doing the opposite, don't you? Oh no, we need the military to get these people out of the street. Oh, you need to, oh no, you dominate people. You do this, you do that. He's railing against it. Trump is railing against it. And our people better open your eyes, because that man is sitting in office over at the White House, and his actions are letting you know he don't give a damn about how bad black people get treated. He don't want to change nothing about this system. He don't want to change nothing. That's why he's not talking about police reform. He's not talking about doing anything about racism. The only thing Trump is ranting on are the protesters. And see, everybody is making it hard for him to make folks go home, because it is a constitutional violation for you to force people off of the street because you don't like the fact that they're protesting. This is why you saw those U.S. generals side with the protesters, and they removed troops that were sent to Washington, D.C. by the request of Trump. All of those troops got sent back to their home base, and they sent more back. And they already said Trump is not to use the military to bully protesters. So you know he's butt sore about that. Then the next thing Trump has been fighting, he's been fighting heavily with Muriel Bowser, the DC mayor. He wants complete control over the police department, and Muriel Bowser is fighting him back. So, ladies and gentlemen, the mayor is in charge of the police departments, not the president. So he's overstepping his boundaries by trying to overtake the DC police for his own protection, or use them as muscle to get people off the street. He can't get these people off the street because you wrote in your Constitution people had the right to protest. So he would have a serious problem and could be sued if he dragged these folks off the street. Trump could be sued. Okay, Cameron Charles, thank you so much for the super chat. Lisa, I live in Toronto and racism is very much alive in Canada. They're just sly and two-faced about it when they say Canadians are very nice people. Oh, I know. Cameron, I've been up to Canada a couple of times. I wish I could have met you, you know, but I have been up to Canada a few times. The last time I went up to Canada was, I would say around 2010, I went up to Canada. That was my last time. And I actually went on my high school trip back when I was in school, and we went to Montreal for our class trip. instead of Florida. Everybody was going to Florida. We didn't want to go to Florida. We ended up going to Montreal. So I've been there a few times. Yeah, so right now, Trump and many like him, the alt-right and all of them, they are in fear of what they see in this country. And this is why, just understand, don't be surprised if Trump does nothing to address this issue, because he don't want Black people in this country to get fair treatment. He don't want it. And then I read, thank you, RLI, for the super chat. He's trying to say DC is a district, not a state. He has power, but he's wrong. Most lawyers already said Trump doesn't have that power. He doesn't have that power. That power belongs to the mayor. If anything happens on the local level to you involving the police, you go straight to the mayor over that. You don't go to the president. And that is because the mayor is in charge of your local police. So he cannot control them. And again, technically, Muriel Bowser, if he keeps strong arming her over the cops, she can take this into federal court. And she would have every right to do so. Trump cannot take over the military. He cannot take over the police. But over this last week, he has been trying to do both of those things. And I'm glad those generals stepped up and said what they did, that they were not going to let him use the military against the protesters. And Muriel Bowser is fighting him tooth and nail right now over the control of the police. So it doesn't look like Trump is getting his way in this whole thing. And I know that's pissing him the hell off. But the one thing he's not addressing is racism and police brutality. Through the entire week, he has not addressed it once, because he don't want those things to go away. This is the president, y'all, and he could care less about the well-being of the Black community. We already knew he felt that way, but this confirms it. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. On Twitter, I was out on Twitter, and they're calling him hashtag bunker boy, and some people are saying hashtag bunker bitch. So ever since he went down in that bunker, he ain't gonna live that shit down. People are dragging the hell out of him on that. Yeah, he never cared about us. But you know what made that insult to injury? All that mess that Candace Owens put out there, he retweeted on that stuff where she was saying she don't support George Floyd and he's a criminal, and she brought up his criminal record and all that stuff. He retweeted that because you know what? That's how he really feels. She was speaking what he felt. Number two, I was looking at something, and he said he was going to bring some people up to the White House to discuss racism in the Black community. And guess who was on the list? Candace Owens. Candace Owens is not the mouthpiece for the Black community. We don't even like that. We don't like Candace. Why would we have somebody we don't like speak on our behalf? But see, she's a safe Negro. So that's what Trump wants. He wants that safe Negro. That's what she is. We don't need safe Negroes. We are trying to get out of the oppression that we're in. The safe Negro is obsolete. They have no place in this fight at all. Oh, we don't care about Trump trolling. Right now, the way Trump has looked since this coronavirus came, Trump looks like a powerless man standing there every day as coronavirus keeps climbing in the United States. He's so powerless right now, y'all. It's not even funny. He is powerless in stopping coronavirus. And right now he's powerless in stopping the protests. That man has no power whatsoever. He is literally a figure right now. So there is no fear of Trump. Trump barely got any power in his position right now. Right now, he is being dominated by a virus and the American people. he talk about domination. He's being dominated. And, you'd be surprised. Many of those people in the National Guard that are out there, they don't want to be out there. They really don't want to be out there at all. Yeah, well, Darlene X, there are a lot of ignorant people among us. And yeah, that was a very ignorant thing for him to do, show up in blackface. But like I said, that looks like an act of desperation. Another person sitting at home, seeing what's happening, and he's in fear of losing whatever power he think he got in his head. Just like that fool that showed up with the bow and arrow, talking about all lives matter, because they are in fear of losing the little bit of power they got left. And y'all, without an economy, these folks have zero power up in here. They don't have no more power than the black man and woman now. We're all equal. Okay? They don't have no economy. Thank you, Arlie, for the super chat. I'm sick of Candace. She's being used and don't know. You know what? I don't care about her being used. Let them use her, because you know what they do to coons? They'll use you and discard you. She'll be discarded soon. I was looking at some of the comments on the articles that came out about her. There are a lot of white people that don't like Candace. They think she's too cocky, and she act like she's untouchable. And I really seriously don't know where she's getting this from. You grew up black and you think you're untouchable? Boy, I tell you what, when she does fall, she's going to have a rude awakening coming. All I have to say is Candace better stay off of the internet when she finally falls hard, because everybody's going to be dragging her all over the place. Yeah, well, the Strawberry Moon is tonight. I think tonight is the final night. The first night, I believe, was Friday. I couldn't see it anyway. Friday and Saturday was just too overcast where I live, so I couldn't see it. But I think tonight is the final night of the Strawberry Moon. Well, I think they're going to defund the police department, because right now, Trump, I wouldn't hold my breath counting on Trump doing anything. So if anything is done to the police department, they're going to have to do it on the local and state level, because Trump, he will absolutely do nothing. Like I said, I believe he gets off on us being treated badly by police. He won't even address it. No, let Candace do what she do, because like I said, when she falls, they all do the same thing. After they fall, they want to come to the black community. Then we don't embrace her when she comes back. And plus she's butt sore, because when the coronavirus hit, she came out with a new book and nobody's paying attention to her book. I don't know anybody in the black community that would even buy that trash. So why buy a book and listen to her say the same thing that she always say, all the negative shit she always say? I mean, I wouldn't pay no money for that. The hell are you paying money for all that bullshit for? Listen, I don't even want to hear it for free. You think I'm going to go and pay for it? Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, she's a paid coon. Very true. Phyllis Foster, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you see everything is coming to a halt for America. And these folks they want everything to go back to the way it was back in January and February. It's never going back. Do you understand me? This place is never going back to where it used to be. Never. And I think the thought of that is scaring the hell out of them. That's why they're talking about reopening, and you don't have a choice but to return back to your job. If you don't return back, you're going to get fired and lose your benefits. Well, up in New York, that's not stopping people. A lot of people are refusing to go back up in New York, so they're losing their jobs. But they said, look, we're the hardest hit state, and we still got a lot of coronavirus up in the state. We don't want to return back to work and risk getting it and spreading it to our families or even dying from it, and they don't care. So I'd say that's going to be the next big battle in the country, is these companies trying to force everybody's hand. And, that's how it is. They was bucking their eyes, Lucky Lloyd. I hear ya. Well, by any means necessary, you can disagree with me all you want. You disagreeing with me, is it bringing the country back? What is it doing because you disagree with me? Is it saving anybody's job or saving them from getting coronavirus? It's not doing a thing. Maybe you need to focus on something a little more productive than spending your time disagreeing with me. It's not going to do you any good. Okay. John L. Esau got their ninja moment and can't handle it. You got that right, John L., because they sure can't get themselves out of the mess we're in. Denise Sampson, thank you for the super sticker. Yeah, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. I mean, look, even Trump don't know what to do. He's putting extra fencing around the White House. I said, boy, did the protesting spook him that much? He's putting another layer of fencing around the damn White House. Ooh, that's a scary coward. No, they can't do it. Just like when we were going through our judgment, it was nothing you can do. They're going to have to live through this whole thing. We had to live through it for centuries, and now it's ending for us and starting for them. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm not going to keep you too much longer. Thank you so much for coming. And as usual, all of you have a wonderful day wherever you are in this country or in this world. May the Most High continue to protect each and every one of you. And may you be completely unaffected by the judgment that's on this Gentile world. Peace, family. And by the way, hi, Taryn. I did see you. Peace.